Good morning, yogis. Hi, Valerie. Yay. Good. All right, yogis, welcome. Friday, 10:30 slow flow. Nothing better than a morning practice to sort of set your day in the right direction. And as I often say, sort of setting an intention on the mat, kind of a nice place to practice loving kindness, of course, and also just sort of going inward to revisit with yourself and reconnect so that as we kind of walk out into that world that can be intense sometimes and things get thrown at us, we can walk with a little bit more grace, a little bit more ease, sometimes better than others. Other times, I know for myself, but so here's a place to come in to breath and kind of observe your thoughts and notice if they have the tendency to draw towards negativity. I know years ago, just negative conversation towards myself was all I had, right? It just, there was no room for anything else. The sense of failure, the sense of not being good enough, and how I looked or whether people liked me or all of that. It was just a huge, intense part of negativity for me, and I just endlessly um, was what spoke so unkindly to myself. And so grateful, truly grateful to have done so much work around that and to be in a place where I can have evolved and and taken and looked at that conversation that I was having with myself and shifted it over and over and over again, right? It's not that I wake up one morning and I'm like, yeah, I'm over that. It is a journey, it's a process of watching your actions, watching your language to yourself, and catching yourself. And I'm so honored to actually like myself and have that desire to put myself um, really as a priority, my health, my wellness, the people I put around me, the actions that I take, really just that level of self-care has become such a perfect balance for me at time most of the time. So I don't ever want to be a yogi that walks around giving the impression that it's all, I've got it all going on, because I struggle as well with just sort of landing the plane. I always love that, landing this plane, getting out of my head and just calming myself down and just being present. And that presence of right here, right now is the only moment we truly have. The Buddha talks about that. In Buddhism, they talk about that. Just, this is it, right here, right now. What I'm offering you is you're listening to me, this moment, and that moment's gone as we come to the next moment. So it's so precious. And when I can remind myself of this, I embrace life so differently and with so much more compassion, but also passion. So anyway, I didn't know I was going to say all of that. So as we get going today, I have asked you to please just, I'm trying to look at the summer schedule and see if all of these classes are being attended, if people are enjoying them. So if you really do enjoy them, either like it or comment that you want to keep this Friday 10:30 slow flow on the schedule. And I love it. I will. I love teaching. So just kind of give me a little support to know if that's what you would like. All right. So I'm going back. So as we begin our journey on our mats today, right, this journey inward, which I love, I just love coming here, sitting, and just beginning to take in my practice. So I'm just going to start with breathing, some pranayama practice. And today we're going to start with that practice of Samavriti pranayama, which is a breath called equal breath. So trying to balance out the inhales, hello, and the exhales, trying to find evenness from one breath to the other. And to do this, there's a couple of ways you can do this. One is following and counting your breath, so counting the inhale and kind of noticing how long it is, if it's a count of 4 or 5 or 6, and then taking that count, that same number, and taking it into your exhale breath. So finding that the inhales and exhales begin to balance out. There's this sort of evenness, this flow, the kind of flow that we're looking for in our lives. And you might find as you do that, the counting then fades away, and you just kind of get that natural breath, and it might expand, it might get longer. So Samavritti Pranayama, just a wonderful breath to balance us out. The other way is just to follow the breath and just kind of observe the length without the count, right? So up to you. I'm going to start us with counting, and then you might just release that, let that go. But as we find our seat, again, you might spread your sit bones, sit up onto a blanket. Maybe just circle these shoulders once down the back of the body and just kind of let that body settle in. And then soften or close the eyes. And just feel that length up the spine and down the spine, right? The whole spine. And just notice the breath. Notice the inhales and exhales. Wherever they are, however they feel, just observe them. And then from here, we're going to take an inhale, just a nice full inhale, not fast, just a slow, full inhale. And a soft exhale out through the mouth. And then we're going to begin to count. On your own, just kind of follow that breath, that inhale, counting. Maybe it's a 3 or 4 or 5. And then exhale that same number out. Again, find that inhale breath, counting for yourself. And exhale, taking that same number and counting out. Inhale. And exhale. Counting the breath, you might find that as you settle, the breath lengthens, the number gets higher. Just follow this breath, stay with the count if that works, counting the numbers, or you might find you found some evenness, some balance, and just let the counting go. As we let go of highs and lows and find a little bit more balance with this breath, evenness, calmness. Just a few more rounds, just stay with it, quieting that mind, focusing on this Samavritti Pranayama. Beautiful, and then softly bring these palms together at Anjali Mudra. So as you do, these palms draw together, that energy kind of brings you inward a little bit more, that balancing of right and left. And then bow the head down to the fingertips. Bowing that mind to your heart as you honor yourself, this beautiful being right here. And just feel that within yourself, this being that you're taking care of and nourishing, so that you can walk out into the world with more grace, more ease, less reaction. Beautiful. And then from here, take a nice inhale. Exhale again out through the mouth. And inhale together for Om. From here, we're going to take these feet and we're going to bring them together into Baddha Konasana. So giving those knees a little bit of a break, right? So it doesn't need to be really tight. You might even open it up a little bit. We are going to open it much wider in a second, but we're just going to start here. Soles of the feet. See if you can feel all pads of the feet, the toes, the balls of the feet, the heels of the feet. Let them connect. And then sit taller. You can see my knees, especially in the morning, my hips are pretty tight. Sit nice and tall here. And just again, reconnect. Shoulders melt down in the back of the body. There's a lifting of the pelvic floor. There's an openness of the heart center. And just stay again. Find the breath. That Samavriti should be pretty balanced right by now. So just stay with that. You don't need to count. Just feel the rhythm of your body. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to just keep these hands either on the knees or the shins, and you're just going to round back a little bit, tucking the chin, tucking the tail, lifting the navel in and up. Yeah, and just rock slightly side to side, getting some space into the back of the neck. You might nod the head a little bit side to side. Good. Take another breath there. Just breathe into the back of the body, into the neck, into the shoulder blades. And then really lift the navel as we come back up to that long spine, supporting that movement. And then from here, stay long in the spine. Just slow. Slide the hands down the shins a little bit. Doesn't need to be a lot. And then take a breath here. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. Relax the knees. Inhale. And then exhale, just fold a little deeper. Take your time. So just really connecting lower back, outer hips, inner thighs. And just let yourself melt into it. Noticing the breath, noticing the physical body. And just find the breath to guide you, opening up. Back of the body. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now from here, take another inhale. Get a little bit longer again in the spine, kind of reaching the crown of head towards out ahead of you. And then exhale back into this. So folding back in. And then again, inhale, kind of lengthen, draw the navel in, crown of head reaches out in front. And exhale, fold back in. Last one, inhale. And exhale, fold back in. Beautiful, and then lift the navel in and up. We're gonna roll up, so tuck the chin, tuck the tail, and slowly roll up, supporting your spine, so important. Shoulders stack back over the hips. And then from here, we're going to take that left hand to maybe that right shin or the knee, whatever feels right. And that left hand comes behind. Grow long on an inhale, slight tuck of the tail. And then exhale, begin to take this twist. Just keep it a little smaller, right? With the legs in this shape, you'll just notice it's a different twist, maybe not as deep as if you are in Sukhasana. Breathing in, breathing out. Take another breath here. Perfect. And then very slowly to release, hands come back through. Excuse me. Take a nice inhale, grow long. And then coming to the other side, right hand maybe to that shin or the knee, and left hand comes behind. Take your breath, lengthen, and then begin to take a twist. Just feel a little bit of that energy of the core, right? The navel lifting up and the shoulders opening. Take your breath, soften. And again. Beautiful. And then slow release. Now, we're going to take these feet and we're going to bring them a little bit more out in front. So this became a nice big diamond shape now. And then maybe shift a little bit. And we're going to sit nice and tall. Find those shoulders melting away from the ears. And then take a breath here. Inhale. And then slowly begin to fold forward. But really, I encourage you, take your time. You should feel this along the outer edge of the hips, alongside the knees, maybe down into the calves. I always feel this quite a lot more on one side than the other. And then just allow yourself to kind of melt into this. Let the head release. Stay with that navel lifting in and up gently to support the spine. Let the head go. And just rock. Stay with the breath. Just notice again this up a little bit more the outer edges of the hips, maybe down around the outer edges of the knees. And then from here, we're going to take a breath. We're going to just lengthen a little bit. Navel draws in. Be careful. Notice how it feels. And then exhale. Nice stretch here. And again, inhale, just lift a little bit. And exhale, melt. One more. And melt. Beautiful. And then from here, tuck the chin, tuck the tail, and slowly roll yourself up. Good. Now, from here, we're going to take these legs long, so out in front. Hopefully you can see me. And we're going to take this right leg and we're going to cross it over the left. And you might always slide something underneath the back of that extended bottom leg, just so you don't overdo it into that stretch. And I just want you to sit nice and tall, a little shift here. Yeah, the sit bones. And then take a nice inhale, grow a little longer, and then just walk out a little bit. Please, early in our practice, don't overdo. And just feel this stretch. Again, for me, it's along sort of the outer edges of the hips, the lower back. And just take your time. Rocking a little bit if that feels sweet. And then finding stillness. 2 more. One more. Perfect. And then tuck the chin, really lift the navel, and just roll yourself up. And we're going to take this right leg, and we're going to cross it to the outside of that left leg, or it can be to the inside, up to you. And we're going to take this left hand to the outside of that knee. Right hand comes behind. Flex through that left foot, and begin to take a twist here. Take your time, open up that heart center. Navel draws in and out. In and up. One more breath. Love it. And then slowly coming back through to center. We're going to take this right foot to the inside of that left leg. Yeah, Janu Sirsasana. And again, early in our practice, just kind of awakening these legs, this lower back. Sit nice and tall. And then just walk out again. Not too deep. Lengthen, rock a little bit. Be kind and sweet and loving to yourself as you open your body up, meeting your body where it is, right? Whatever's going on in it, can you embrace that with loving kindness? I have the type 1 diabetes and rheumatoid arthritis and little bit bits and pieces that are a little unhappy at times, and it's really important that I'm in a place of self-care, and the more I practice, the more and more my self-care gets to be that priority. One more breath here. Perfect. And then again, tuck the chin, tuck the tail, roll yourself up. Good. One more twist. Left hand to that right knee. This is more open. Right hand comes behind and grow long as you twist. Little flex through that extended leg. Now, from here, keeping this left hand on that knee, take that back hand, sweep it up, and just come into a nice side stretch here, kind of reaching over the extended leg, over the toes. Let the belly button lift in and up. Maybe the gaze goes up, that's up to you. Maybe it's down. Just honor your neck, so important. Good, one more breath here. Really nice. And then slowly bringing the hand down and unraveling, coming back. We're going to once again bring the soles of the feet together, and we're going to open up that diamond. So this kind of modified, shifted, changed Baddha Konasana. Open it up, sit nice and tall. And then softly, slowly, just begin to fold into it again. So revisiting these shapes, another opportunity to take it a little differently. Let yourself go. 3 more breaths here, the inhales and the exhales. Reaching into it with the inhales and releasing into it on the exhales. Beautiful. Tuck the chin, tuck the tail, lift the navel as you roll yourself back up. Perfect. And that right leg goes long, and this left leg slides over. So we're nice crossed, sit tall, lift that pelvic floor, but also these inner thighs. Shift a little bit, and then just walk the hands out. Rock slightly side to side. Just stay in that space of kindness, exploring, noticing the difference in sides. It's always amazing to me how different one side is to the other. I was just thinking, I have 5 dogs and a cat in this house, and I didn't put them in their crates for class, and none of them are in here bothering me. I should be careful what I say. I just wonder what they're all up to. Beautiful. Take another breath here. Inhale. Exhale out. One more. Beautiful. Lift the navel, tuck the chin, just for that nice little slow roll up. Perfect. And then we're going to take this left foot to the outside of that right leg. Or, again, it can be to the inside. Either or. This right hand comes around, wrapping around. This left hand comes around. Grow long on an inhale, find that length, and then exhale as you take that twist. Opening up into the space. Just being kind and loving to your body. Beautiful. Take another breath here. Slowly, we're going to release. Always slow on those releases. Bring that left foot to the inside of that right leg. And you might slide a block underneath that knee. I'm going to, because my knee's a little bit bothersome today. And then from here, sitting tall. And we're going to melt over this right leg. So again, not forcing behind that right knee to get some stretch. I want you to soften but lift the quad. Walk out a little bit and just get lost in it, that sweetness of this day, this Friday. Take a few breaths. Rock or move into stillness for 2 more. One more. And then slow, tuck the chin, tuck the tail, and just roll yourself up. And then from here, that right hand is going to come to that left knee, and that left hand comes behind you. We're going to lift long and then begin to take a twist, opening up that heart, little flexion through that right foot, right leg. Should feel good, right? That journey into the shape. Good. One more breath. And then from here, we're going to take that left arm, reach it up to the sky, lift the navel, really good to support this shape, and then reach over the toes. Getting into the outer edge of that left side of the body. And same thing, maybe the gaze goes up, or maybe it goes down. Maybe it stays in a nice neutral place. Good. And again. Lift the navel in and up as we come out of this pose. Beautiful. And as we kind of shift around now, we're going to come to hands and knees, tabletop position. Yeah, it should feel good. We just did some nice stretches into the legs, into the hips. If you want to place a towel or a blanket under your knees, of course you're welcome to. Spread the hands, get that nice energy into the hands. And from here, we're going to take and lift into that cow pose. You can keep the toes uncurled or curl them right away. That's up to you. And just pause here. Open up the heart. There's a little bit of like a massage as you kind of find that space of the heart center, the tail lifting, not forced. Take another breath. Inhale. And then slow, lead with the tail as you exhale into your cat, tucking the chin, tucking the tail, and pause there as well. Just notice that space into the shoulder blades. Yeah, a little bit of movement if you like. And then from here, we're going to inhale, come into that cow, and then this time maybe you curl your toes under if that feels okay with you. And then exhale, rounding in. Inhale, come back to that cow, lifting the chest, lifting the tail. And exhale, release the toes, rounding in. Good. One more here. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the tail. Exhale, rounding the spine to the sky, drawing the navel in and up. Perfect. From here, come back, nice neutral spine. And we're going to take this right leg. I often do this so you know. The toes come down onto the earth. That right leg is extended. And we're going to sit back into the heels. Heel. And as you do, just find that energy up the back of the leg. Sorry, it's very dark in here today. And just kind of rock slightly back and forth to open up the back of that right leg. One more breath. Now, from here, focus your gaze out in front. Lift that right leg up and play with it. Maybe you take that left arm out in front as well. Find the balance, find the focus. If you fall out of it, right? Can you just come back into it without judgment, without giving up? One more breath here. Perfect. Bringing that hand down, we're going to bring that right knee down, and we're going to take that left leg, extend it behind us. So shift around, and you can always bring the forearms down onto the earth if you're finding your wrists are bothering you. Take an inhale, lengthen, and then exhale into that heel. Should feel good. Good. Take another breath. 2 more. One more. And then from here, gaze out in front. We're going to lift that back leg up. Focus the eyes and play with it. Maybe that right arm reaches out in front. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhales and exhales. 2 more if you got it. If you fall out of it, revisit it. If you're done with it, then be done with it. And then bring that hand down And then this time, we're just going to take this left knee and we're going to slide it behind the right. So I'm just going to show you from the back. And the feet are going to open up a little bit wider. And then from here, this really becomes your practice, right? So you kind of sit back, you're opening up the lower back and the hips, and you might find you go really deep. That might be for you. You might find you stay a little higher because you're really tight in the hips, or if your knees are bothering you as well, stay a little higher. So up to you, but just that self-care. You can always bring a block in as well, staying a little higher on your forearms. Just a nice modified shoelace pose that we come into instead of coming from the seat. Kind of sitting back into it, opening up the hips. But again, make it yours. You might take the arms out in front, lengthening, dipping the head. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. So nice. And then from here, just slowly coming back up, hands and knees. And we're going to take that left leg and bring it down alongside, and then just coming to the other side, that right leg, let it cross behind, open up the feet a little bit, yeah? Each side is different. And then sit back into it. So just find as you rock a little bit, yes. This side's much deeper for me. So I just wanted that self-care, watching my knee, right? So all these little details that could kind of make me go into my head and judge this and say, forget it. But we find that balance, that kindness, taking care of ourselves, so important. It's a top priority for me. And again. Beautiful, last breath. And then slowly walking back up, taking this right knee next to the left. We're going to take and move into a downward facing dog. So if you have blocks, I love, especially on a day where I'm feeling a little tighter, I love to use the blocks for the downward dog. Gives me a little bit more length into the hips. But if you don't have blocks, it's all good. I'm just going to show you, same thing, just lifting up into this downward dog. Let the feet be a little bit wider. Let the head go. And I'm just kind of shifting slightly side to side. And then pushing through the hands, so off the earth, and the blocks are just a kind of lifted earth, right? Shoulders down the back of the body. Lengthening the spine. Knees are a little softer this morning as I just take this first dog. Should feel good. Now, it's up to you. Bring the feet a little bit closer together. And if it feels all right, take that right leg and just cross it behind the left, right? So you come back to that cross we did earlier. Take a breath, inhale. And then just exhale, push out of the hands, reach the sit bones behind you. Notice where this goes in those legs. Breathing. 1 more breath here, that's it. And then slow, we're going to uncross that right leg. And just for a pause, we're going to bring the knees down, toes stay curled. We're going to lift into that cow. Hands can stay on the blocks if you're using them. We're going to exhale into that cat. And then downward facing dog again. Yeah, feel the body beginning to open a little bit more. And then from here, that left foot's going to cross behind the right. So same thing, just take a breath and then sit down into the heels, but don't force it. Spread the sit bones, lengthen through the spine. 1 more breath here. Good, and then uncross. And then again, just bring these knees back down onto the earth. Curl the toes under. Lift to your cow. Hands can again remain on the blocks. And then reach into that cat. Perfect. From here, nice neutral spine. So again, if you have blocks, you can keep using them. We're going to take this right leg and we're going to just bring it forward between the blocks or the hands. Lean in a little bit, find that length into the spine, and then slide the hands up to that top of the knee. Open up the heart, gaze out in front. Breathing in, breathing out. Love it. Now, from here, we're going to take that left arm, reach it up to the sky, get that nice length, lifting that spine. And then from here, cross it over to the outside of your knee, sliding that left hand, right hand into your hip, and take that twist. Now, outside of that leg again, twisting through the waist. Take the gaze over your back shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. One more breath, that's it. Watch the balance. And then from here, coming back through, just take these arms up to the sky. Open it up with that exhale. And just feel this nice lunge. One more breath. And then slow and controlled, bringing the hands down. Find those blocks. Now from here, with these blocks, we're going to bring them to the inside of that right foot. And we're just going to walk that foot out a little bit and longer a little bit. And then we're going to slow sit back and then allow the toes, the knee, the hip to open up, right? So there's that nice kind of edge of that right leg here. Find it for you. Let the head go. Breathing in, outer edge of that leg. Take a few breaths, nothing pushy. Good. One more breath here. And then very slow, that front foot is going to come back down on the earth. We're going to come back in. So the hands are on the blocks or the earth. So we're kind of into this dolphin pose. Open it up. Pause here. Good. One more breath. Beautiful. And then very slowly, we're going to step this right foot back. Yeah. Slide now into a child's pose. Let yourself go. Two more breaths. One more breath. And slowly coming back up. Maybe the hands find those blocks. And same thing, other side. We're going to bring this left foot forward between the blocks or the earth or the hands. And then lean in a little bit. And just feel that space. Open it up. And then coming right to it, just letting the hands come onto the top of that left knee and then lifting the shoulders over the hips. Heart opens. Take that right arm, reach it up to the sky. So get that nice length. And then cross it over to the outside of that knee. And then that left hand can come to your waist. And then slowly, just begin to take this nice twist here. Gaze can follow. Yeah. Breathing in, breathing out. Two more breaths, just real focused here. One more breath. And then begin to take these arms, reach them back up to the sky. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. Just feel this pose, this knee down lunge, this nice opening of the hip, the front of the body, the lengthening of the spine. Good. And then as we move, we're going to bring the hands down. And we're going to take this left leg and we're going to extend it a little bit longer and bring the blocks to the inside of that leg. And then as we take a nice inhale, grow long, but let that left hip open up, the knee, the toes kind of turn out. And then exhale, just let yourself drop in. So we're going to draw that left hip back a little bit as we drop in forward. Just two breaths. 3 breaths here. If you can just take that time, a little bit of work to just kind of hold the upper body up. Good. One more breath. Perfect. And then very slowly, the toes, the knee, the hip close back up. And that foot slides back, and we come forward here. I called it dolphin before, I mean lizard. Get my animals and reptiles and mammals all mixed up. Take a breath and just pause. Just pause into the space. It doesn't need to be a huge stretch. It doesn't need to take you somewhere else physically, but just to take you into a place of letting go, being in loving kindness. One more breath here. Perfect. And then from here, we're going to take the blocks either side of this front foot, but then we're going to take the back toes, curl them under, lift that right knee. And then a little bit of effort here because we're going from all those kind of knee down lunges to closing this up. I want you to lift the navel in and up, find a little spring from that back foot, and step forward. As you ride, maybe you use the blocks, taking them a little higher, finding a half lift. Maybe you take the hands to the thighs, finding that half lift. Wherever you are, take a breath again, lengthen, and then melt in. And just let yourself go. Opposite elbows if you like. Let the head release. That's always a really tough one for me to do, is let that head release. Take another breath. Take a nice inhale here. Let the arms release on that exhale. And then from here, tuck the chin, tuck the tail, bend the knees. And just like we were doing earlier, we're just going to roll up, but I'm going to count with you. We're going to go 5, slow, head heavy, 2, and 1. And at the top, just pause, open it up, just feel the heart is open. Shoulders melt down the back of the body. Breathing in, breathing out. And just feel yourself standing here just for a moment. Perfect. Bring the feet a little bit more underneath you. Hands come to your heart center. And from here, take the arms, sweep them up to the sky, opening up. Palms together, we're going to soften the knees, fold through this heart center. So we're back into that forward fold, but we're going to take and bring these feet wide again. We're going to turn the toes out. You might have a block or two if you need them, if you like them. And we're going to sit into this malasana, but modify it. So keeping a little higher, you can always bring the forearms down. If it feels that you need it, you can always build a little fortress here, and sit onto that as well. Just be careful, sometimes that can be more dangerous than building that than anything. So whatever it is for you. Maybe a little rock side to side. Again, if you're not using props, just explore it. There's this little tuck of the tail, this opening of the inner thighs, the softness of the neck and head. And one more breath here. And then slow, hands come down. Legs begin to extend and toes turn back in. From here, take a breath. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, fold back in and bring the feet closer together again. From here, we're going to take another inhale, finding that half lift, tail behind, crown of head in front. Exhale, melt into your forward fold. And then from here, we're going to root to rise. Arms reach out to the side, coming all the way up. And palms to your heart center. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now, from here, we're going to repeat some of the shapes we've done already. So, we're going to take this right leg, and we're gonna cross it over the left, right? So this is always a little bit more intense than doing it from the floor. So you have the blocks, if you have them, they're close by at this point. Take a breath, inhale, grow long, and then very slowly we're gonna begin to fold into this. So just take your time. It always feels a little different than you think it's going to feel. Relax the toes. Spine is long at first, so you're just feeling how this is at the back of the little legs. Oh, here's a little friend. Hello. I'm going to slide my blocks in. Oh, beautiful. And then just let it go. So notice where you feel it into your body, right? Which hip a little bit more. Just take a few breaths here. And again, if you're using the blocks, they can always come higher, right? And then let yourself release again. A few more breaths here. Inhales and exhales. Inhales and exhales, just letting the body release into it. One more breath. Good. And then find that half lift. So again, if you're using the blocks, you can reach there. Fingertips either on the shins or the earth. Mouth again. And from here, we're going to take that right foot. It's a little easier. And we're going to bring it back over. And then root to rise, coming all the way back out and up. Exhale, hands into the heart center. And just pause there. Notice how that feels up the backs of the legs. One more breath. Good. Now, from here, coming to the other side. So we're going to cross that left leg in front. Kind of shimmy around a little bit. Yeah? And then hands maybe to the hip creases again. Lengthen, and then begin to fold forward. As you do, just take your time. Let yourself go. Breathing in, breathing out, feeling that up the back of the right leg. Taking your breath here. And just pausing. Notice where you're kind of gripping, containing, and forceful, and see if you can soften a little bit more. Yeah, a few more breaths here. 2 more. 1 more. And then slowly kind of slide into that half lift, and then just kind of uncross the legs, whether it's the right coming from behind or the left coming from forward. And take that half lift. Melt and release. Good. And we're going to make our way back, so you can use the blocks or not. Downward facing dog, and kind of pedal it out. Probably feels good after those big stretches. And then from here, we're going to come through. We're going to get that length into the spine. So now we have these new legs from all those nice stretches of the lower back, hips, outer edges of the legs. Take your breath. 1 more, we've got this. Knees can always come down if you need to do that now. Hello. Here they come, another one. Knees come down here. And then we're going to lower ourselves all the way down to the mat. So dropping yourself down slow and controlled. And then from here, we're going to peel ourselves off the mat, coming into this cobra pose. No. And then lower yourself back down. Get attacked by a dachshund. And again, peel yourself off, lift the heart. And exhale down. 1 more like that. Inhale, peel yourself off the mat. And exhale to lower. From here, we're going to inhale, lift up, and we're going to slide all the way back, nice and slow, into that child's pose. Whatever it is for you. Maybe the hips are a little bit higher. Breathing in, breathing out. Just checking that anybody's here. another breath. Beautiful. And then very slowly coming all the way up, tabletop, wrapping the legs around, and you lay down onto your back. Should feel really nice. As you do, just rock the knees side to side. Good. Let yourself settle on your back just for a little bit of movement on our backs, taking that right leg, drawing it in. And then from here, take that left leg, extend it long. And just pause there. So getting some space into the front of that left hip as it extends. And then from here, we're going to take this right leg and we're going to draw it across our bodies, coming into this twist, breathing into the outer edge of that right hip. Let that right arm open up, taking this nice twist. Navel lifts in and up, heart opens. Two more breaths here. One more breath. Perfect. And then from here, slow, you're going to come back in. And we're just going to cross this right ankle over that left knee. And maybe we draw them in together or keep that left foot down onto the earth. Open up that heart. Two more breaths. One more breath. And then slow, that foot comes down and that right foot comes down. Just rock the knees side to side. Love it. And then coming to the other side, drawing that left knee into your chest, right leg goes long. Breathing in, breathing out, heart opens. Two more breaths. One more breath. And then taking this right knee across your body. And as you do, again, a little bit of that outer edge of that left hip. That left arm might open to a T. Take your breath. Continue. And then as you release, we're going to take this left ankle over that right knee, drawing the knees in. Maybe the hands are up behind, or maybe that foot stays onto the earth. Find what's right for you. Move this little dachshund. Take a few breaths. One more breath here. Beautiful. And then bring these feet back down onto the earth. Both feet onto the earth. Palms come down alongside you. And we're just going to peel that lower back off the earth. Ankles underneath. Heart is open. Hips are lifting. Knees are reaching forward. Neck is long. Take another breath. One more breath. And then roll yourself down. And then from here, drawing both knees into our chest, a little massage of the lower back. Take your time, just let that feel good. If you like, you can move into that happy baby, which is a little bit of that malasana, but on your back. Notice how that feels. Breathe there. You take that happy baby or any other shape or pose that might feel right. Take a breath, inhale, and exhale. And then slowly, as you release, knees come back into your chest just once. We're going to take these legs up to the sky, but hands can be behind the legs just to support it. And you might separate a little bit, make some nice circles, some energy for the day. Circles of those ankles. And then switch, heading the other way. Beautiful. Draw the knees back in. Give yourself a big hug, a nice big hug of energy. Feet come down. And then let the arms extend long, legs extend long, arms extend out to the side. Take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale into Shavasana. Let yourself go. Good. Take your time to just pause here. Dropping into your mat, dropping into your practice. Setting that intention that we set a little bit of just kindness to ourselves as we move through these days, right? This practice on our mats allows us to kind of look at how we react to ourselves, to the world, how we move through the world. Breathing in, breathing out. Just notice how you feel as you melt in. Just let the breath guide you. Two more breaths. One more breath. And then just reach the arms over your head, coming into a nice big stretch, right? So reaching the legs long, the arms long. And then roll yourself up into your fetal position onto your side, coming into a nice ball. And then slowly lift yourself up, finding your beautiful seat, connecting to your body. Bring your hands together at your heart center. And as you bow into yourself, honoring this beauty, this light, this love inside of you. That self-care, meeting yourself where you are, no matter what, right? And taking care of yourself. Shifting that language of negativity and embracing your whole self with love and kindness. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And again, just let me know if you're enjoying this class. I'm just looking at the schedule to see which classes are people like and which ones are a little smaller. And for the summer, if you don't let me know, it might disappear. So try and check in and let me know. Thanks so much.